Talk about a sucker punch! Just walked into my own home to find it transformed into an over-the-top, my big fat Greek wedding-style banquet hall. What the? Just landed back on home soil after 2 years teaching English in Japan. Me, Dalvir, a guy raised on reruns of Friends, Marvel Comics, and The Office memes. I'm the kind of person who quotes Brooklyn Nine-Nine in serious conversations. And now, my home? A small townhouse filled with childhood memories of soccer games and backyard barbecues was swarming with people in extravagant clothes. Wait, was that? Mom? Dad? Why's our living room crammed with dignitaries and are those peacocks? Parents. Can't live with them? Can't have a normal homecoming without them springing a surprise wedding on you? Yeah, a wedding. For me, Dalvir still uses Tinder Brown. Their brilliant explanation? Dalvir, we've arranged for you to marry Princess Annika. It's a long story. Act normal, they said. Smile and wave, they said. So I did, throwing out sarcastic quips, trying to hide the tidal wave of shock. The guests found me charming, the perfect mix of humble and funny. If only they knew. Then, there she was, Princess Annika, a woman who could give Gal Gadot a run for her money. Did she have any idea about this charade? Her confused, wary eyes met mine, and we both knew. We were the pawns in a game neither of us understood. We were shepherded into a room, away from the gushing crowd, the revelry, and the goddamn peacocks. I guess this isn't the homecoming you expected either, I said, trying to cut the tension. She laughed, a genuine heartfelt laugh that filled the room and eased the tension in my chest. And so we talked about our lives, our confusion, and this insane situation. Her accent was enthralling, a mix of British sophistication and something unique. Was it the accent or the woman? I had no idea. But as we stood there in our wedding clothes amidst a party we didn't ask for, I realized I was hooked. Not by the politics, the thrill, or the ridiculousness of it all, but by her. I found myself in my childhood room, dressed in what could only be described as a costume, feeling like a deer in headlights, an unsuspecting groom awaiting his unknown bride-to-be. Dad, what the heck have you gotten us into? I asked, half exasperated, half angry. He looked tired, worn out. The store, Dal, it was going under. This marriage deal saved us. The store, our lifeline, was on the verge of ruin? It was too much to take in. And on top of that, he added, trying to joke, you could do a lot worse than marrying a princess, you know. A forced smile crossed my face. Sure, a princess with a hidden agenda, probably. He laughed, thinking I was joking. I left it at that. No need for them to know just how weird things were about to get. Under the pretext of getting to know each other better, Annika and I met up in the backyard, away from the bustle of the pre-wedding madness. There was an undeniable spark between us. Was it attraction, shared fear, a mutual understanding of being pushed into something we were unprepared for? It was hard to tell. Quite the predicament we're in, huh? I asked, trying to lighten the mood. She chuckled, her eyes meeting mine. You could say that. I've never imagined being in this situation either. We talked about our hopes, our fears, and even laughed at the absurdity of our situation. I found myself opening up to her in ways I never imagined. Despite the bizarre circumstances, I felt a strange connection to her. It was almost as if we were... Nah, it was too soon to think about that. Our arranged marriage was starting to feel a lot less arranged. As the morning sun crept into my room, I was about to wed a princess, while my most thrilling adventure until yesterday had been winning the local trivia night. Morning, Romeo! My best man Ali had shown up. I wanted him to be in the dark about the true situation for as long as possible. I feel like I've been transported into a Shakespearean play, Ali. I've got the drama, the intrigue, and the royal love interest, I said, gesturing to the room filled with tuxedos, flowers, and a surprising amount of scepters. Across the room, Annika appeared, looking radiant in her wedding gown. Her eyes met mine, and she graced me with a smile. My heart fluttered. Annika, I approached her. You look really beautiful. Thank you, Ali, she said, her eyes shining. I guess we have to do this, huh? Yeah, I replied, ready to become my queen. Her laughter was like a melody easing the tension. Only if you're ready to become my king, she countered playfully. Our seemingly perfect moment was interrupted by a strange man handing Annika a small package. Take this. It's vital, he murmured. The man vanished as quickly as he appeared. The package ended up in her purse. a silent promise of more mysteries to come. The ceremony passed in a blur. As I said my "I do," I looked into Annika's eyes, filled with courage and uncertainty. At the reception, I turned to Annika. "So we're married. How do you feel about that?" She smirked. "Overjoyed, ecstatic, the happiest woman alive." Her tone dripped with sarcasm, but her eyes were warm. "How about you, Mr. Newlywed?" "Pretty much the same," I chuckled. "So, when's the honeymoon?" The reception ended and we were escorted to our suite. It was there that she revealed the recording device and her secret life as a spy. It was official. I was now a part of a royal spy marital union. And my code name was now Jack, not Dalvier. "I guess it's a bit more than you signed up for," she confessed. "You think?" I replied, feigning shock. And here I was expecting tea parties and charity balls. Annika let out a genuine laugh, her eyes twinkling. "Trust me, Jack. Life with me will be anything but boring." "So, let me get this straight," I started, as I scanned the room filled with maps and whatnot. "You're a spy." "Yes, Jack," Annika affirmed, her stoic expression a stark contrast to my obvious shock. "And you're saying we can't annul this marriage because we've got to keep the cover intact?" I continued. "Exactly. We're in the same boat now, whether we like it or not," she said. "Oh, joy," I said with an overly sarcastic tone. The days passed quickly, filled with briefings, tactical lessons, and even a few moments where I'm pretty sure I signed off on papers that could lead to my potential doom. There were many times where I caught myself asking, how did I get here? An ordinary guy suddenly turned would-be spy. One evening, Annika broke our typical silence. "Why aren't you more scared?" she asked. "Scared?" I replied. "Who said I'm not?" "Yet you're still here, learning all this. Why?" "Because walking away isn't an option," I said. "Besides, what's life without a little adventure?" A few days later, we got our first mission. The objective, to retrieve an artifact from a dangerous warlord. As I adjusted my tie in the mirror, ready for the action, the weight of the situation hit me. "If I don't make it back, make sure to feed my goldfish," I joked, trying to lighten the mood. "Jack, you don't have a goldfish," Annika pointed out with a smirk. "Oh, right. I guess I'm not as prepared for the spy life as I thought." "Well, we're about to find out now, aren't we?" she said, a spark of excitement in her eyes. And just like that, I was about to embark on the most unexpected adventure of my life. You know, when I woke up this morning, I thought the most difficult task I would be facing would be picking which type of cereal to eat for breakfast. Obviously Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yet, here I was, ducking and diving through a maze of laser security systems in a ridiculously luxurious mansion. "So, just to confirm," I whispered into the comms, "we're supposed to just casually steal this artifact and casually walk out of here, yeah?" "In essence, yes." Annika's voice came through. "In essence, I'm screwed," I muttered to myself. With each bend and twist of my body to dodge the lasers, I reflected on the mundane simplicity of my life before. Before the grand surprise wedding, before learning my wife was a spy, before becoming a spy myself, and before seeing those damn peacocks. In the grand scheme of things, those were the good old days. But as I finally got my hands on the artifact, a sense of adrenaline coursed through my veins. It was a far cry from the days spent alone in my apartment, fixated on the dull humdrum of my existence. After the successful retrieval, we hightailed it back to our home base where we met with the round of applause. Annika turned towards me with a smile. "You did well." "Well? I thought I was bloody brilliant." The smile never left her face. "I stand corrected. You were bloody brilliant, Jack." As I sat back, basking in the exhilarating rush of my first mission, my gaze met Annika's. I realized there was something oddly satisfying about this newfound chaos. It was risky, scary, and utterly absurd, and yet I found myself looking forward for what was to come. I found myself looking forward to another mission, another adventure with Annika. All this introspection was rudely interrupted by an alarm bell ringing. Annika and I exchanged glances. "Time for the next mission already?" I asked. She simply smiled. "Welcome to the spy life, Jack." Alright, so you know in action movies there's always a bar scene where some smoky-eyed babe saunters in and seduces the ever-so-suave hero? Well, in our next mission, that was supposed to be me. Yes, me, Dalvier, the guy whose idea of a fun night involved microwavable dinner and reruns of The Office. "Annika, are you sure about this?" I asked, tugging at the designer suit that clung to me like a second skin. "I'm not exactly James Bond." She responded with a teasing smile. Just remember, you're the most charming man in the room. Well, if by charming you mean sweaty and nervous, then yes, I am very charming. The idea was simple. Charm the pants off the daughter of a shady businessman, steal the intel we needed, and disappear before sunrise. The execution, however, was about as smooth as a ride in the shopping cart downhill. "Excuse me, miss," I said, sliding into the seat next to her. "Can I interest you in some company?" "Can I interest you in leaving?" she retorted. Ouch, not a great start, but I'm nothing if not persistent. "Well, we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars," I quipped, trying to hide my desperation behind a forced grin. She looked at me, eyes narrowing. "That's an interesting choice of a pickup line." "Well, I'm an interesting kind of guy," I retorted, adding an awkward wink at the end. Why did I wink? No idea, but somehow it worked. Long story short, I survived the night, managed to get the intel, and even escaped with my dignity partially intact. Annika, watching all this unfold from a van outside, couldn't resist the opportunity to make fun of my bumbling attempts at seduction. "Wow, Jack," her voice crackling with laughter over the comms. "I didn't know you had it in you." "Me neither," I replied, a grin spreading across my face. There was a silence, a comfortable one, filled with unspoken thoughts and emotions. And then she spoke. "You did good today, Dalvia. Real good." Those words, as simple as they were, meant a lot to me. And she used my real name, not my spy name. As I walked away from the mission, leaving behind the glitzy world of spies and lies, I realized something. All of this, it wasn't about the thrill of the chase, the danger, or the excitement. It was about her, I think. Nope, it was definitely about her.